rain finally tapering off in the Texas Hill Country. Floodwaters have just pounded the region the last couple of days, definitely yesterday.
Right. At least 2 people were killed after days of heavy rain caused some parts of the Guadalupe River to rise more than 30 feet. More than 200 people had to be rescued from high water, many of them stuck in their homes or their cars. One of the hardest hit areas is in Uvalde County, where residents were urged to evacuate as many homes were swept away.
Honestly, I'm upset, mad, because I felt like I could have maybe saved it, done more. It is my, you could say, first home that I bought last year, Christmas. And now what to figure out to do is the next thing.
And despite the catastrophic impact of the floodwaters, residents say they were more prepared this year. Local officials ramped up warning alarms after last year's flood killed more than 100 people. Well, now that the relentless rain has subsided, people can focus on recovery and cleanup from all this damage.
Fox 4's meteorologist Josh Johns live by the Guadalupe River in Kerrville this morning, slowly receding from that major flood stage. Water's still going down other parts of the river, but definitely a lot better than we saw yesterday, Josh.
Yeah, a lot better, guys. Now it's about 12 to 15 feet lower than it was this time yesterday. This time yesterday, all of that water could fill up 2 Olympic swimming pools, or 2 seconds, it could fill up an Olympic swimming pool, rather. Now it's going to take about 20 seconds to fill it up. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much less volume is flowing down the river. Still, you can hear the roar from it. You can see the waves from it as the rapids continue to move downstream from the Guadalupe River. As I take my photojournalist Mark here and have him point a little further down the river, you will see all the trees that have been knocked over. He was here last year when the flooding happened on July 4th, and he said from his viewpoint today that there are more trees down now than there were then. So I don't know if they were knocked over in this flood or not, or if maybe they were a little loose and they've been swept down. But you can tell how powerful the water is as you look at how many of those trees have been bent over. Some of the debris that's been left behind, I think I see either a jacket or a feed sack, maybe a tent, one of those 3 kind of sitting on that little, what is now an island. This is actually typically a little recreation area along the Guadalupe River that folks in Kerrville can go hang out at and, you know, enjoy nature. But right now it is this continuous stream of water as the water continues to drain from the flooding we saw. We have some video from the Comfort area, actually. This was when the river was at its higher point yesterday, and actually in Comfort, the level of the flooding reached higher levels than it did at this point last year, actually exceeding the river height there and the flow. It allowed some spilling of dye there that came into the river. That's the red that you saw in the river as it flowed through the area. Now, we drove through that same area last night on the way to Kerrville, and we could tell where the debris was left behind from where the river had gotten up over the I-10 access road in Comfort. So still a lot of cleaning up to do. Now, there are a couple of differences from the flooding last year versus this year. Last year, the heaviest rain was more isolated and fell in the headwaters of the Guadalupe. That's further up past Ingram, past Hunt, and past Camp Mystic in western Kerr County. This year, we had about 4 counties that saw more than a foot of rainfall, including Uvalde over towards Hondo, down towards Lakey, back here towards Kerrville. And last night, all the heavy rain built right over those areas again. We saw lightning as we came in. That rain lifted up through Junction and is now going through the Concho Valley. But that also means we're going to see more flooding along the Llano River. The Guadalupe could still come up a bit as we saw more rain upstream last night, and the Pedernales very well could flood a little bit more as well. So all of these rivers that go through the hill country are still channeling water, and they're still going to be high for a while. We're going to have to watch them very closely. The other thing I noticed when we first got down here, it's real humid. And that means once the tap shuts off, the heat starts to build here. It is going to feel really hot for folks that are trying to clean up. The high today expected to be in the mid to upper 80s, but the feel-like temperature will likely reach the mid 90s due to the humidity that is in place here. So a lot of cleaning up that'll have to be done here in Kerrville. That's the view right now. We're going to bring you more as we go through the morning, but for now, Josh Johns reporting here in Kerrville for Fox 4.
All right.
Josh, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, this morning you can help the people in Central Texas as they start to clean up. The Community Foundation of Texas HIl Country launched the Texas HIl Country Flood Relief Fund. The money's going to help provide emergency assistance, long-term help for impacted families. You scan that QR code right there and donate. We have a link on our website as well, fox4news.com.